Victor Bout. You know who he is?
Yeah, he's the Lord of War.
Yep.
That was loosely based on him, but he was
I know.
recently.
I know Victor.
Yeah. So yeah, tell us more.
So Victor was on the fringe a lot. Like Victor and another buddy of Victor's, and this other buddy, his dad was like the head of the first directorate back in the day. And he's my buddy. And like he says, the only time I ever put on a uniform was I go in a closed room, they give me a medal, they take the uniform away and the medal. I don't know what the whole thing's about, but I play the game. And this guy he is really good. And he is a character. So they had all these cargo planes and Russian cargo planes. So I used them a lot. And they'd say, okay, we got to get this down to, whatever, Uganda, Congo. And I'm not judging. So I said, okay, we got it. And we'd bring in the trucks. We get all the equipment. We'd send it down there. I did a lot of that. And then to fast forward, and I'm building a base because I can see what's happening right now. And so being based in the Balkans, that's where the word Balkanization comes from. I know that's really profound, Sean. So the fragmented, disenfranchised animosities brewing up to fragment a country. It's happening in the United States right now. So I really like the Balkans. So I went over to Kosovo. Same drill. We take all this stuff up there. I mean, you got Albania, Montenegro. I mean, these people hate Serbia. I saw, Sean, I don't have any respect for NATO or the UN. I saw carnage beyond the biggest horror you can think of. And NATO and the UN just sat there. Literally just sat there. I saw warehouses, drugs. I saw a lot of drugs. Those that bother me, but I saw a warehouse.
The heroin trafficking with the Kosovo Liberation Army and other traffickers they were using.
I saw some of that, but I saw a lot of synthetic cocaine. I ended up knowing the guy from Miami that was the guy making it. I mean, that's a whole different path of conversation. But and the drugs were, I'd seen drugs, so okay, there's drugs. And of course I saw all kinds of weapons and I'd try to buy all those. But then the part that is not acceptable, I noticed, because natural disasters and wars are very good harvesting operations for humans. And so I saw warehouses, and I've layered some of this in, and it's layered in our second book because we have a warehouse and it's in Arizona, and warehouses, and it was almost like a mall, and there were humans in there. And one section was the organ harvesting. One section was like the inexpensive kids. One was the really expensive kids. It was like different price levels. And they would just scoop these people up and just put them in there. And some of them be made to order. Like I've seen some of the most beautiful young women ever. And this happened one time when I was there, and I'm having to keep my mouth shut. And they were cutting their tongues out. And I looked at one of the guys. I said, I couldn't act like I was freaked out. And I said, "What do you guys eat the tongues?" He goes, No. They just, some of them don't like them that they talk. So I know that they create wars on purpose. I know wars just don't happen. And I know there are massive ways to move money and harvest humans and other things. And it's one of the biggest businesses in the world. And human trafficking is probably bigger than the arms business, or as big.